Hey, this is Brandon, also known as the DeFi Guide, and in today's video, it is Wednesday. I'm going to talk all about the SwapX voting system. So the first step for voting is you need to have some locked SwapX tokens. When you lock those tokens, it becomes an NFT. So you'll receive an NFT in your wallet. To create a lock, again, first of all, you need to have some SwapX tokens. And then you simply click on the Create Lock button. I'm going to do 8,000 tokens, and I'm going to select the maximum lock, which will take it out for 2 years from today. It's going to be 2 transactions. The first transaction was just approving the smart contract to be able to spend my SwapX tokens. Here is the actual lock. Yeah, okay, great. So it's already showing my brand new NFT. 8,000 SwapX tokens locked into that. Notice the voting power at the moment. So every week you have a chance to vote for whatever pool or pools you want to vote for. As time goes by in that week, as the week goes by, your voting power decreases. And this is pretty much last minute, Wednesday night at about 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is 00 UTC time. That's when the epoch ends, the current epoch ends, and the new epoch begins. So your time limit for voting is up until Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, because you have an advantage. If you're waiting to the last minute, you get to see how everybody else voted before you cast your votes. So you can see, even though I locked 8,000 tokens, my voting power associated with that NFT is only 7,982. So I lost a little bit of my voting power because I'm waiting so late in the week to actually vote. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, I don't necessarily want to have 6 individual NFTs to cast my votes for each one of these NFTs individually. So I'm going to do some merging. I'll merge together all of these April NFTs. So what I'm going to do is click on the Manage button for that second NFT, and I'm going to join this NFT with this NFT. So I'll use the merge function. I'm going to merge from NFT number 19133, and I'm going to place that into this 15786. So I'll merge it to that NFT. Hit the merge button. It is going to reset any votes that I may have cast. I haven't cast any votes for this epoch, so that's just a small gas fee. It will claim any rebase. So the rebase is every week, SwapX adds some more voting power, some more SwapX tokens to your lock. And that's because SwapX is an inflationary token, and so the rebase is basically paying you back for that inflationary aspect of the token. But every week we get a little bit of rebase tokens added to our locks. And finally, it's going to do the actual merge. So 7904, 157, that's going to come out to about 8150, 8160. Perfect. So now that 15786 has some more SwapX tokens in there. Last one I'm going to do here, and notice the lock expiration date increased. Whatever NFT has the latest or the last expiration date, the whole NFT, the merged NFT, is going to switch to that expiration date. Transactions on Sonic are nice and quick, nice cheap gas fees. So it's a good blockchain. I think Sui is better, but Sonic is pretty good. So we'll do a quick refresh, and that trumped up NFT, it added the 8,000 plus the 8,062, now 16,062 SwapX tokens locked in there. Voting power is, of course, a bit less based on the fact that it's very late in the epoch. And now I only have to vote these 4 different NFTs. Okay, so let's do that. So we'll go to the vote page. And if you're voting early in the week, the APRs that it's predicting are going to be exceptionally high. And then what happens is more people vote for those certain pools, the APRs will go down because you're splitting the rewards and the fees with more voters, the more people that vote. That's why you have an advantage when you're waiting to vote until very late in the week. Now, I kind of like this right here. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of scrolling through and scanning these APRs. I like to earn WETH and USDC. See, that's the thing with SwapX voting. When you're a voter, you actually earn the swap fees for that particular pool. The liquidity providers, for the most part, are going to earn SwapX tokens as rewards for providing liquidity, and the swap fees actually go to the voters. So it's an interesting dynamic, a little bit different than Uniswap or PancakeSwap or the other standard dexes out there. So I like that. I'm just going to put a little marker in here, 20%. Now you'll see higher APRs, but a lot of times I'm not really interested in earning whatever token is associated with that pool. Like, I'll give you an example. I have no idea what FRX USD is. Looks like some kind of stable coin. I don't know what this is. BRNX. I don't even know what OS is. I've seen it on here a lot. GOGLZ, no clue. So I'm not really interested in earning these random coins. I like to earn tokens that I actually know what they are, like USDC, the SwapX token itself, this liquid staking token, Sonic token, wrapped Sonic. I like that. And I'm also leaning towards pools that I think are going to see a lot of volume. That's the thing with voting, because again, as a voter, we're receiving the swap fees. Regardless of where the price goes, we don't have to worry about where our range is. We don't have to worry about rebalancing. We don't have to worry about impermanent loss. I mean, we do have to be concerned with the price of the SwapX tokens that is underlying our voting shares here. Of course, we don't want to see that price go down. We want to see it go up. But we don't have to worry about all of those other issues associated with providing liquidity in a concentrated pool. So I really like it. There's not a lot of risk in my mind. I'm bullish, long-term bullish on the SwapX DEX. So I don't mind holding the reward token in these locks. And in the meantime, I earn some nice yields. I've been averaging close to 200% APR each week. I've actually been monitoring it. I can show you guys this spreadsheet. I haven't done a great job of monitoring my yields, but each time the epoch ends, I go and I claim my fees, and then I compare that to the number of votes that I actually cast, and then I calculate like how much money I earned per vote. And then I track the current price of the SwapX token, and from that I can calculate my yield. So like I said, I've seen as low as 131% yield, and as high as 273. Now this was an exception. I don't know, for whatever reason that week there was a ton of volume on the SwapX exchange, but these yields are pretty tasty, considering the fact that we don't have to have, all those associated risks and all the management functions that we have to do when we're providing concentrated liquidity. So anyway, one thing I wanted to point out here is for a lot of these pairs, you'll actually have two different pools. So notice WETH USDC, but then also down here, USDC WETH. So it's the same pool, but liquidity providers can choose the automated liquidity providing by Ichi, and those positions can be weighted more heavily towards USDC or weighted more heavily towards WETH. So it's kind of outside the scope of this video, but regardless of whether you choose WETH USDC like this or USDC WETH like this, you're still going to be earning fees in the form of USDC and WETH. And the yields, a lot of times you'll look at these and one will be way higher than the other one. Right now it's pretty balanced out. 424 and 426. So I'm just going to go with that. It's a tad bit higher. And let's see what else I want to vote for. As I'm kind of scrolling through and making my decision, there's another 400%, but no clue what that token is, so I'm going to skip over that for now. I don't know what FS is, so skipping over that. Again, what's important is the volume. What is the swap volume going to be in the next week? If the swap volume is really high, as a voter, we benefit from extra volume. So I'm really basing my decision here on what I think is going to have a lot of swap volume and what I'd like to actually earn in terms of the fees. So I like this here, wrapped Sonic and staked Sonic, or liquid staking Sonic. Just scrolling through. Now that's very interesting. I like that a lot because those are two stable coins and the yield is pretty dang high. Not a lot of fees generated in the previous epoch, but also not a lot of voters for that. So I think I'm going to grab some of that. Don't know what OS and BES is. Oh, now here's a good example. Notice USDC/SCUSD, and this is the same pool. It's just the difference of the automated strategy and which coin it's more heavily weighted towards. And the yield here is a lot higher. So I'm actually going to take that one away, and I'm going to put a good amount of votes in that one. Oh, wow. You know what I might do? Both of these are really high, and it's all stable coins. So I kind of like that. Let's see. This one has been, these pools also pay out gems, which is the coin that you need to hodl in your wallet to receive the Sonic airdrop coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I think I'll do like 40, 40, and 20 of something else, because these are both in the 500 range. And that's 435. I already have stable coins at a higher yield on the other one, so I'll get rid of that. And that's only 426. So end of the day here, what I'm going to do is vote 3 different pools. I'm going to do 20% of my vote in this wrapped Sonic and liquid staking Sonic. And then I'm going to vote the rest in these 2 high yield stablecoin pools. So I'll put 40% there and 40% there. Scroll up to the top and cast my votes. All right. Perfect. Transaction completed. Let's see if we give this a quick refresh. This is my total SwapX or VE SwapX token count. Of course, the voting power at the moment, being so late in the epoch, is a lot less than that. And these are the votes that I've already cast. So I need to cast the votes for my 3 other NFTs, which I will basically just do the same way. Now I can't remember. I can't remember exactly what I voted that 20% for. There it was. Okay, so I did the wrapped Sonic, staked Sonic. 20% over there. So again, 20% here. And yeah, see how these APRs dropped? That's because there are now more votes. I just voted, so now we're having to split the fees with more voters. This is why you have an advantage coming in here towards the end of the week. And that's why, you know, to sort of offset that advantage that you have less voting power as the week unfolds. Oh boy, this video is getting super long, so I'm going to wrap this up here. I'll vote the other two NFTs the same way. And then come back next week and collect my rewards. All right, that's it for the video. It's been forever since I recorded a video. This one got really long, so I apologize for the length of it, but I wanted to add some more content and a little bit more of a tutorial for the SwapX voting system because I really like it. It's really going well. Sooner or later, I will do another video on all of my current concentrated liquidity strategies. I'm really getting into that a lot these days. I have some cool techniques and strategies to utilize in providing liquidity and earning some nice yields on that. So I'll get into that in a future video. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.